Hey, 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 it's Dr. Meredith Watson, the unapologetic therapist, doctor of naturopathy, psychoneuroimmunologist. I wanted to come on and talk, it's been a while, I know, about grief with grace. Most of you who've been following me know my sister died all of a sudden, and it was traumatic, and I found that grief is a mofo, it is a beast, but it can be handled with grace in time, not all at once. I want to ask you a couple questions. Are you haunted by feelings of unfulfillment in your personal life or your professional life? When you lose someone, it puts all that into perspective for you. Do you suffer from poor health, physical ailments, or persistent pain? When you lose somebody, you start to take your life and your pain and you see it through a different lens. And not just with death, but any event that occurs in your life that kind of rattles your cage or shakes you up a little bit or a lot. You start to see things a little bit differently. You ever find yourself craving for love, acceptance, validation, yearning to belong to a certain group or fit into a certain crowd or a certain mold? It can be very, very depressing and disheartening when you wake up every day wishing to be accepted and embraced for who you are or who you're trying to be. There were tons and tons and tons and tons of red flags I experienced going back to my home state to be with family, to bury my sister. And it was easy, really easy, almost too easy to get dragged back into the muck and the mire of complacency and people pleasing and doing what's right for the greater good. I knew I had to go, but in hindsight, I kind of regret going because I don't feel like my sister got the honor and the justice that she deserved. And I realize I come from a community of Trader Joe's. Everybody's backstabbing, no one's loyal. And it was reminding me that when you look inside yourself for love, acceptance, validation, and belonging, you don't get jived and conned into the hype of family and doing what you should do and one for all and take one, take a bullet for the cause, doing what's right for the greater good and end up spending the next several weeks recovering from the fight, recovering from all of the complacency and the people pleasing. But the one legacy I think my sister left, and the one thing I now am thinking, am I on mute? Okay. The one thing my sister left as far as a legacy, other than two beautiful sons, is you cannot, without losing the essence of it, fit a square peg into a round hole. Her life was that was the epitome of her life. She was not going to fit into this mold for anybody. And that is definitely a legacy that she left behind. But if you really look at it, the truth is our lives are deeply intertwined. Your thoughts, your emotions have a profound effect on your professional life, your personal life, your physical health, and they can just leak and spill into everything. One catastrophe, one event, in my case, grief, it can fill into every other crevice or section of your life. There's no longer this nice little sectioned off plate. Everything's running together and touching. And I can remember these last few weeks not wanting to do anything, not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to move, not wanting to do anything. And everything that wasn't already set in automation, I just didn't bother with it. I eked out an existence. I did what I had to do. And most of what I felt I had to do was for the sake of my daughter's well being and health. So she was always taken care of, priority all the time. But as far as things I didn't have to do, believe you me, I did not do them. And I'm still in that mode in a way. But as the unapologetic therapist and doctor of naturopathy and psychoneuroimmunologist, I strive to do what I teach my clients, which is to live free of fear and negative emotions and unresolved ailments and trauma and physical ailments. And over these last couple of weeks, I have learned to lean into and learn from my own portal of support. And through this grievous time, and grief is a mofo, no doubt about it, I have managed to make it through, but only because of this arsenal of tools that I use to keep myself afloat and tools I recommend to my clients and customers because there is going to be a moment in your life when you're kind of in this cold, dark water alone and you have to figure out how you're going to get through it. And I know exactly how those who are grieved for people, for events, or maybe just things that may or may not have been. And I know this because my sister's death is at the tail end of a tumultuous 3 years. And I felt like I was being trapped and suffocated and burnt and cut and dipped in salt. And it's been a dark time. I classify 2017 as basically a year I don't remember. Like I felt like I was what I assume what a drunken blackout slumber would be like. I remember very little of that year. It was a tumultuous year for me. And 2018 I feel like was the year of the healing, the year of me coming into a butterfly and leaving the cocoon and really just turning in the caterpillar and realizing my wings are ready. It's time to fly. And of course, whenever you're up leveling, things happen and you sometimes very much so can lose momentum. It's very easy to lose momentum, but you have to have something to hold on to. It could be your faith, it could be your friends, it could be your family. It depends on who you are and what your core values are. For me, given the fact that up until now I pretty much had disengaged from my family, I'm not talking to my mom for a lot of reasons. Although she did try to help me through this time, I do salute her for coming out and helping me with that, even though it wasn't what I all I wanted. It was better than it could have been. She could have completely ignored me. But I spent a lot of time previous to this and definitely these last 2 weeks just feeling like I'm on this hamster wheel and I'm losing a part of myself trying to keep up. Losing my sister really has changed me in a way I never expected. I can't put my finger on it. It's like a part of me is gone, but I've gained a part of me too. It's like I gave up a part of me to gain a part of me. And I, for so long, put my expectation of my self worth and my validation and acceptance and belonging in the hands of other people. And I had to learn slowly and painfully how to regain that or even just build it into my own well being and learn to accept me and love me and embrace me. And it's taken a huge toll on my physical and mental emotional health. But one thing that has changed me, in addition to having a child that I want to show what's possible, is finding a whole new meaning to my own life and motivating me to become more than I used to be and grasping and embracing who I came here to be, a warrior queen, a phoenix rising single mom who loves to eat and travel and help other people and reach back and be philanthropic and not just financially, but to be that way in the way that I help people heal and grow and evolve and shift. And showing my daughter what's possible as a parent, having to explain to her why we won't see my sister anymore and what that means and how she can, send good vibes to my sister's sons because they're no longer have their mother, and that's difficult. Whether you're 17 or 71, it's still hard to lose a parent and somebody you love. It's difficult, especially when they've been a constant in your life. And one of the things that has gotten me through these last couple of weeks is and the way I've been able to thrive and survive is the portal of support. Think Gaia meets Phoenix Rising with one-on-one support. I've really had to lean into what I need in the moment, whether it's just to sit on the floor and bawl my eyes out, listen to my Oreo beats, journal the crap out of what I'm feeling, retreat. I found myself even during the funeral and the repast and all those events that go along with a funeral. I had to retreat. I could not stand all of the people. There are a lot of reasons for that, but I couldn't embrace the people because I couldn't embrace why I was there. I was in denial for a little while about why I was even with these people because it didn't seem real that my sister, who's under the age of 35, would be gone and I don't get to grow old with her and I don't get to chill out with her on the porch and our children don't get to grow up together. And she had the most amazing personality, the most amazing laughter. I can hear her laughter in my head. And just the way she entered the room, you stopped and you paused. You did not forget that she walked into the room. And one of the things that has come out of this, because I have to do something when I'm freaking out or stressed, I have to get into something, dive into something, escape into something. I know what it's like to feel alone and dark and scared. And You're not sure where to reach out, you're not sure where to get support from, you're not even sure if there is a support team. And there are grief hotlines out there, and the most of them are open 24/7. But sometimes you want someone in your back pocket who understands the situation or can get in the trenches with you, and you can keep talking to that person, and you don't have to, you can just go back to the shorthand. Or you wanna reach out for a piece of information or a piece of a mind map or a piece of music or a grief by Oriole Beat, which, by the way, is amazing and helps me through some really dark moments, especially in the heart of it, in the pulse of it all. And I created a portal. It's been around for quite a while, but I add to it, especially now that I'm trying to utilize and transform and transmute this grief into purpose because I know there are other people hurting and grieving for various people and members of their lives. And it's extremely important to know that grief can be handled with grace, but you also get to choose. And no one should tell you how to grieve, how long to grieve, when to forgive, what to forgive. No one has the right to tell you how to do it. It's your journey, it's your path, it's your experience. And I really believe that we all deserve to do that in a way that is crucial and critical and unique to us. We should not be told how to grieve or how to forgive or how to live or, some of the trite things people say that I really hopefully believe they're doing it in good jest, but sometimes only trivialize what is such a grave and deep and pulsating pain and just a lot of extreme pain. There's no other way to put it. It's just painful. And pain, traumatic pain, grief pain can turn into physical pain. I have felt more physical pain in my body going through this grief than I really remember was possible. And I've lost people before. Everybody, I want to say this and go on record. When you lose somebody, you can lose 5 people in a row, but you're gonna lose each of them differently because they all meant something differently. You all had a different relationship, and you all could lose even one person could be lost by different people different ways. I've noticed that different people apparently knew my sister differently than I did. They miss her differently than I do, and I have to give that weight also. So I'm gonna put the link below so you can run and check out the new portal. I'm really proud of it. I've added a lot to it, especially with regard to grief and grief healing and grief counseling. And I'll be back tomorrow. There's more to this saga. Stay tuned if you are watching this on YouTube. Please subscribe and share. If you're watching this on another social platform, please like and share. I'm going to put the information in the comments. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day. I hope this touched you and resonated with you, and I hope you'll continue. There's about 3 more videos to this saga because it has been a interesting journey so far. I hope you have a great morning, night, evening, wherever you are. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the other side.